Hey everybody, this is Tony from Spartera, and I'm super excited today to walk you through our new platform. Hope you really enjoy this. Feel free to reach out with any questions or comments. So what you're seeing right now is our logged out homepage. Don't mind any of the branding as we're switching into our new company name. But as you can see, you can quickly log in with either your Google or Microsoft credentials. We do this just to make it very simple and straightforward and more secure. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my Google creds, pick my account, and it immediately logs me right into what we're calling our insight board here. Now, at Spartera, our goal is to help accelerate the time to insight. And in order to do that, it's how quickly can we bring the insights to the end users that they need and that they care about. So instead of having to worry about additional layers of dashboarding and charts and graphs, everything is presented to you really easily for consumption. These are just some random insights that we've created in a few of our demos in the past. But what you'll see when you log into your account, once you've set them up, are all of the most important and most recently run insights. Running an insight, or processing as we call it, is the method of how we will go about connecting to your backend, running logic on the backend, and then producing that insight. So the first thing you would do upon your first login to the platform is to create a connection, just like any other tool. So to do so, you would log in and you would go over to the left-hand side in the navigation, click connect, and hit add. You'll see that when you click on the drop-down to choose your storage engine, which in our words is how you would connect to any kind of backend, whether it's a data warehouse, a database, a model, an API, etc. You'll see we have a number of different backends already set up and integrated. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on BigQuery. It's a very straightforward data warehouse from Google. You can give it any kind of name you want. So maybe this is our financial enterprise data warehouse, our company's financial, oops, no apostrophes, our company financial EDW with data from 2000 to present, something like that. So what you want to do is you just give it a name and a description, and these things help with finding and searching and sorting. The next things you'll do is give it a visibility. Visibility within Spartera is sort of an alias to who can see and edit these objects. So in this particular object, which is a connection, do you want this to be private to yourself or allow your teammates to be able to use and to be able to potentially edit this object? I'm going to leave it private for now, but you can make it shared if you wanted for your team. And then the last part about a connection is how do you want to actually connect to it? So in Spartera, we use federated connections or some sort of a key to be able to talk to and connect to your backend. Within Google Cloud BigQuery, I'll be using something called a service account, which is the default value for credential type. And in here, you would go about and find your service account key that you've downloaded from Google Cloud Platform. There's more information in our documentation if you'd like to see how to do so. You also have the ability to test your connection to make sure it works correctly. And once you're done, you'd go about and save that. Saving your connection prepares it for usage later on. The next thing you want to do is after you've created a connection is to create and add an answer to it. Answers are our version of insights. It's basically what your end users are looking for. So to do that, you would pick your connection that you made. In this case here is one I created earlier. And you would go about and call your insight whatever it is that the user is looking to learn. So whether it's total sales, whether it's growth rate, whether it is predicted revenue, you can come up with it. So in this case here, maybe we want to know total cups of coffee. And then again, you'd give it some description. This is the total cups of coffee we sold in 2024. The next thing again is you would choose your visibility, who you want to see this. Again, I'll leave it private. We have the ability to cache insights so that you don't have to continually hit your backend every single time, which could save you a ton of processing cost as well as just speed of retrieval. So I'll go ahead and hit and check the cache button, which will allow us to cache the insight. And then the last thing you'll need is the logic. Now, when you're talking to a relational data warehouse or database, the logic is in the form of SQL or SQL. If we were using a different connection like an API or a large language model, we would have a different type of SQL or a different type of logic here, which could be a JSON payload, it could be a prompt, or different kinds of instructions. Again, Spartera sort of obfuscates the need to know all the different kinds of logic and different programming languages. You drop in your logic, we talk to your backend, and we submit the logic to your backend on your behalf. So in this case here, you could write your SQL in such a way: select some cups of coffee as answer from sales table. Something like this, again, based on the schema and based on your tables, could be sufficient. Again, your mileage may vary based on how your data warehouse and data schema is set up. You should definitely talk to an engineer on your team if you're not familiar with this. Besides just allowing for pure SQL logic to be entered in here, you can also add what we call dynamic tokens. In this case here, if we wanted to, maybe filter for a certain location, maybe we have a field called state, where state equals New York. You can either enter in and hard code that value, or you could enter in a token, a dynamic token like state. And what this allows is, you'll see in a second, every single insight becomes an API. And this allows us to take a specific URL parameter and inject that into your logic. This versatility and flexibility allows for dynamic prompts or dynamic queries back to your storage engine, and allows even more usage of the exact same insight over and over. Besides doing a single token or a single dynamic token, you can also use our wildcard, which looks like double hard brackets where and closing that. In which case here, when you use the wildcard, we'll take anything in the API URL and we'll put it into the sales table or into the logic here. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this because I've already set one up, but just know this is straightforward how you go about creating an answer. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is create a share. A share is how you want to be able to secure the insight or the answer with others to be able to access it. So currently you would just pick whichever one of the answers that you want to be able to share. And again, you can share internally or externally. So you give a share a unique name. So in this case here, this is a unique donut insight. So maybe it's number of unique donuts public. So we want to share this insight publicly. Sharing our unique number of donuts insight publicly. And again, it's all about documentation. It's all about security. It's all about granular and traceable lineage with respect to sharing a particular insight, since the data itself never leaves. Once again, you'd give it a visibility, and then you would choose who you want to share this with. In this case here, I said this is going to be a public insight, so we can choose make public. But if you choose to wish your insight not to be public, you can either make it based on an API token, which would be great for programmatic or service-based access. Email addresses, where you can specify who you actually want to receive this insight and who should be able to process it. Role-based is picking a certain role based on the types of roles that we support right now. So you can share it with a group or a team within your company. You can share it with your entire company. So anybody who has access to the Spartera platform would be able to process this. A partner domain, which is we want to share this externally with entirely another company. And then finally, public, which would be, hey, anybody on the internet who has the URL can hit this insight. Each of the different objects within the Manage tab will also allow you to list them out so you can see easily. And then the last thing you'll do here in this quick demo is process the insight. So you would log in, or you navigate to the process page, click on one of the insights that you want to process. In this case here, maybe it's a temperature one, and click this process button. And what it's doing right now is it's going back to the connection and it's talking to it, passing the logic that we gave it, and retrieving the insight for you. So in this case here, we talked to the server and we got this insight where the highest temperature for this particular answer was 82 in under 3 seconds. I hope you liked this very brief and initial demo, but the whole point was just to give you a little bit of a taste on how easy it is to use the Spartera platform to start creating and pulling insights. You can imagine all the different kinds of information that you could be able to set up for yourself or for your team quickly and easily, which is our goal. Again, feel free to reach out to us either using the contact form within the platform or on our website and let us know what you think. We're super open to hear your feedback and your thoughts and ideas. Thanks so much, all. Bye bye.